Hello. Hello, how's my microphone? I'm always having to futz with it to try to get the positioning just right. I feel like my voice is low energy. Maybe it's just preemptively tired from this boss fight already. I'm in a really bad mood, but I decided that I'm going to take that and channel that into beating the absolute snot out of Radahn and Mikola. And also, I realized I might want to use... This boss does a lot of physical damage, and I believe it does a lot of holy damage. Like, I have to imagine that Mikola's nonsense would be classified as holy. So I'm wondering... Like, this really good. This really good. I wonder if there's, like, an even better physical damage negation talisman somewhere. But I have these... I thought I had one for holy damage. Magic, fire. What do I have? I have physical damage, magic damage, fire damage. Is it this one? Vastly boosts holy damage. I think there are probably better holy damage negation ones than this, but if I were to use holy damage negation, I'd have to replace something else. Maybe this. Maybe I don't need the extra stamina and I already have more HP. I could get rid of this. I think I'm going to try replacing this with... This is only the +2 though. It's not even like the +3 like all the other ones are. Or the great whatever ones. Trying to look at my stats and see how it Also, I lost one of my nice talisman. This one, yep. So this gives me 80 extra health. A very small amount of extra equip load. And a very small amount of extra stamina. That doesn't seem worth it compared to holy damage negation. Can I switch my view on the right? Yeah, let's try that. I mean, I think that any of these different choices I could make are largely going to be very small differences. See if I can remember how to dodge everything. Big spinning? No big spinning? Zoop. Follow up? Yep. Whoops. Good. It's all coming back to me. Oh god, well. Hey, he didn't do the follow-up that kills me. One more? No? Okay. Do a front flip, do a front flip. Front flip, front flip. Yep, big spinny. Okay. Good start so far. I mean, reasonable start, given how ridiculously tanky this character is. Pardon the camera flipping all over the place. Crap. Get phased. Ooh. Excuse me. Let me watch this cutscene because I've only seen it once. What the hell? Okay, so phase 1, it's still... By the way, I was thinking about this offline. My character is like level 215, maybe a little higher. I have 99 vigor, 99 strength. I have a maxed out plus 25 weapon. I'm using some of the best talismans that exist in Elden Ring for particular purposes, like physical damage negation and increasing maximum health and whatnot. I have 17 Shadow Tree Blessings.
Tarnished one.
It's kind of like, if I'm struggling with this boss so much, what the hell is this boss going to be like for everyone else? Right? I am in New Game Plus, but I don't know, maybe the answer is eventually just summon everything and just spam him to death, because it is unreasonable how much health and damage that I'm dealing with here.
And my promised consort,
despite being extremely high level. Okay, so this phase is going to murder me, of course. What do we start with? Follow-up? I don't know what kind of follow-ups exist. Okay, so that has a follow-up. Oh god, I'm dead. I'm alive. That's the 25 FPS attack. These attacks I don't really know yet very well. So, like, I know that there's a follow-up here. Let me just try rolling repeatedly. Okay, so just rolling repeatedly is not a good fit, and then it does the follow-up too. So that's a 1-2 punch. That has a follow-up now too. Wait. And that you have to dodge right behind him. I think it's just a little more precise. And then that has a bunch of follow-ups too. Now I have to dodge right behind him. Or maybe it's just a more precise dodge to get past that. Okay, I'm learning these attacks a little. That was like a 1-2. And then I have to dodge those ones to the side. Let me dodge really late here. Yeah, I think I have to dodge really late there. Like, look at the damage I'm dealing, by the way. I think I can get out of this just with some dodge rolls. So despite the 25 FPS, it's not bad otherwise. I can still follow this up. Yeah, so I'm starting to learn these attacks, kind of as with a lot of bosses. I probably said this the other day. Many of these movesets are similar to what he has in Phase 1. There's just a lot of big explodey follow-ups now. I'm going to have to try to find ways to dodge these real quick series of moves, but I think that's doable. And then the other issue is I'm just dealing so little damage. I think this probably helped, though, the holy damage negation. I don't have, like, side-by-side numbers. Whoops, didn't mean to remove that. I guess I could just wear something else, but... yeah. I mean, then the other problem is I'm just dealing so little damage. It's comparable to the problem I had with Dancing Lion. Like, the last few bosses I've actually felt overpowered for. You know, I might just summon Ansbach for lore reasons, and because this boss is so fucking overtuned anyway. I might end up having more fun that way. Because I can do Phase 1, I can probably do Phase 2 with enough practice once I figure out how to dodge some of the flurry rushes, but I think I might just have more fun with this boss. My hesitation with summoning characters oftentimes is that I don't want to kind of ruin a fight by distracting the boss and like spamming through it, you know? But this guy, the fact that what level am I actually? I'm level 219, 99 vigor, 99 strength, 50 endurance, plus 25 weapon, and look at these talismans I have. And I'm still doing so little damage. I think I'm going to try summoning Ansbach. I would not do this if it was like a player, but because I know Ansbach and because we've already fought together on the Lita fight, I think I'm okay summoning him. Now let's give it a shot. I could also change out my flasks, of course, but I don't know what I would change it to. Oh, it didn't do my move.
General Radahn, a pleasure to see you after all this time. But those remains do not belong to you. Lord Moog will have his dignity.
Bad start, bad start. I really don't want Ansbach to die, though. Nice. I guess that's one benefit of having the helper. It's easier to stagger. Like, look at that damage. That was like nothing. No follow-up? That was a greedy hit on my part. I think he's actually scaled more. No wonder I'm doing so little damage. Okay, let's get away from Ansbach so he doesn't get hurt. It's my most powerful move, by the way. That was quick. Okay, I'm getting better at dodging that. Oh, never mind. Okay, well, let's see how phase 2 goes with this. What are you going to start with? A slash, a big hit? Okay, get away from this. Run, Ansbach. Okay, I saw that coming now, I just messed it up. Really difficult timings on a lot of these. Did that miss? Oh shit. Okay, I still don't know what this does. I've been hit by this once before. I don't know what this does. Crap. Okay, I don't like that Ansbach is already, like, dead. Okay, so I cannot follow that up. There's no time. Like, look at the damage I'm dealing! What is this? How am I supposed to kill this guy? Hey! Okay, so dodging right on that. Oh god, the frame rate. I wonder if there's a phase 3 to this fight. I don't know how to dodge this. Oh, there's the grab. Now, does this kill me or something?
Let us go together.
That was different dialogue. Oh, am I dead? Oh shit, she converted me. Heart stolen? What? That's a new move. That got me in... Did that have like a lasting effect? Like, what did that... I mean, I know that's just an instant death, but... I wonder if that emote contributes to something later. Like, what in the hell is that damage, by the way? Maybe I need to use some ashes as well, because, like... But then maybe if I use ashes... I would be so curious to learn how the hell the scaling works in this DLC. Like I said, the last few bosses, I feel like I've kind of ruined for myself. They seem to be fantastic bosses, it's just I feel overpowered. Like, I've been able to pretty much just walk all over them. It only took like 2 or 3 tries each. I beat General Gaius first try. I beat the... whatever... 2-headed... weird... rot butterfly thing in like 2 or 3 tries. But then suddenly here I am, despite all the power that I have, and I'm just dealing peanuts of damage to this guy. One problem I have is even if I wanted to use a summons, I have no FP. And I don't want to use a Mimic Tier. I don't know why, just the Mimic Tier thematically doesn't feel interesting to me. I feel like I'd rather summon an actual character, but I only have 78 FP, so I would have to summon something that costs less than 78, which I guess there's a lot of things that cost less than 78. And I have plenty of upgrade materials to go upgrade them. It'd be more fun to summon, you know, one of the actual, like, named characters. You know, one of these or something. One of these jars or Telu or whatever. If I can find something reasonable that's below 78 FP. This one's exactly 78. I could summon Latenna, Trisha. It'd be kind of fun to use one of the ashes I got in the DLC, but I don't know which ones I got in the DLC. The Mesmer Soldiers. That's an option. Alright, well, let's summon Ansbach again and just give it another shot. I will consider using those ashes later. What are you starting with?
General Radahn, a pleasure to see you after all this time. But those remains do not belong to you. Lord Moog will have his dignity.
Wow, it just went after Ansbach straight up. He is taking damage, though. I wish that FromSoft would, like, kind of clarify aggro priority on these bosses. I'm not sure how they would indicate that exactly. But, like, it feels really crappy to me that the boss just kind of changes aggro on the fly. I'm not saying it's, like, unfair or broken. It's just... it's one of these downsides to summoning I'm not a big fan of. Let me heal this up before phase 2 starts. Why was that so delayed? What the fuck? That was like way more delayed than usual. Am I losing my mind? I felt like that was way more delayed than usual. Okay. God, the frame rate here. Kind of surprised Ansbach doesn't have anything to say about Mikola being here. I don't know how to dodge that yet. Okay, so I need to dodge right and then forward on that, is the answer, when he dodges like that. Early. I might be dead here. Well, no, because it went... Oh, that just has a shockingly huge AoE. This boss also doesn't really have just about any openings, like almost ever. You can get like these very rare openings. Oh, I'm dead. Yep. Well, I've got him below half. That's something. It's not much, but it's something. Well, I'm dead. Oh, I'm out. Whoops. Whatever.
I promise you, 1,000-year voyage guided.
I think I need to summon it. Maybe this fight is just designed around summoning ashes, because like this is so beyond unreasonable for the amount of... Oh, that... I thought that only damaged you on the swing. So I still have no idea how to dodge the 5 hits in a row. You can't dodge all that fast. Maybe you can out-sprint it? I'm going to have to try out sprinting it. I am going to just preemptively start summoning for this. I think I have to. I hate feeling like I'm just not good enough to do it. It's just like, this is so egregiously overtuned. And not just on its own merits, it's egregiously overtuned relative to even other late game DLC bosses I fought.
And grant me forgiveness. The road is yet long, a god is not easily felled. But one day without fail you will have your wish. So please grant me forgiveness, Queen Marika.
So what am I going to upgrade here? I'm going to need some money to do it, but what can I actually pull in? I could pull in the Mesmer Soldier Ashes. They're not all that amazing, but they're DLC focused and they only cost 72. I feel like I'd rather have like just 1 or 2 strong things rather than a ton of them. And I really don't like fighting bosses with so many helpers most of the time. Not just out of a, feeling of wanting to be good enough by myself, but because it distracts boss aggro and leads to the fight being chaotic and unpredictable. But I mean, this guy is just so fucking overtuned. Hey, Abby. I have found a lot of new weapons. I'm just still using the Lord Sworn Sword. Whichever one it is. Kindred of Rot, Man Serpent. In fact, I don't want to use these ones. I could pull in the Grave Bird. Let it breathe fire on the guy. I could also do something like a bleed build, but I don't want to change my whole build. I've done like the whole DLC like this. I'm feeling very similarly to how I did Finding Melania, where it's like, I don't like that I've been able to do everything else in the game with this build that I prefer, and now I have to change my build to do this fight. I say have to. That's not literally true, but this guy is so fucking overtuned. Gravebird. Yeah, I'm being indecisive. Again, I don't want to pull in the Mimic tier. I feel like it's more interesting to me to pull in someone who isn't just me. Trisha could be fun. That's exactly the amount of FP that I have. That would mean that I couldn't do any square offs, though. But honestly, kind of fuck square offs. They're doing so little damage anyway. I'm kind of worried now. Like, I'm just so curious. I'm kind of repeating myself, but it's hard not to because the game doesn't answer any of my questions. This boss is clearly scaling. Like, I'm doing less damage when I summon the guy. And I'm worried that if I summon yet another guy, it'll cause me to do even less damage on top of that. But maybe ashes don't count, I guess. It might make sense that ashes don't scale the boss because you have to summon people before you get into the fight, whereas inside the fight, it'd have to scale it like dynamically based on whether you actually use the ash. Yeah, so that kind of tracks with my thinking. I would love to bring in this one, but I'd have to get a little more mind for it. And I don't want to go... I like that I upgraded this one to +10 and then forgot that I didn't have enough FP to summon it. I'm just going to do Trisha, whatever. It's kind of a perfect match. Let's get some money. I don't know how much I need. Probably more than this, but...
Greetings. Are you here for spirit?
I feel an urge to just keep bitching about the boss, but I'll try to hold off. So what was I going to do? Perfumer Trisha? Where's Perfumer Trisha? Is this Perfumer Trisha? There we go. Okay, let's bring you up to +10. Okay, I need more money. I need more money. Just use both of them. As if runes mean very much anyway. I mean, given that I don't know the details of level scaling, it might genuinely be the case that me being this high level makes this boss significantly harder than it would be for someone else. I don't know whether that's true, because the game doesn't tell you anything. Oh my god, I need like a small number of more runes. Yeah, I'm level 219. And look at my stats. 99 vigor, 99 strength, 50 endurance, plus 25 weapon. Best, to my knowledge, best possible physical damage negation. Best possible max HP up. This is not probably the best possible holy damage negation. There's probably like a square shield version of it, but it's pretty good. I have this thing. I don't know. Let's go and level up to +10. Nope. Okay, I need a little more. Son of a bitch. Can I just use... I don't know. Whatever. I don't need this many runes, but that's fine. At this point, I can grind up quite a number of runes very quickly if I wanted to. There's the +10. So now, let's put her on the hotbar. And go back to the DLC. Stage front. Maybe it's this one. I've said it before, I guess maybe it's not worth repeating, but I'm going to repeat it anyway. I really wish this DLC didn't have this kind of level scaling. Not the scaling of summoning NPCs, that's different. I wish this DLC didn't have level scaling because just knowing that it exists makes it so much harder to understand kind of how this boss is supposed to play out. Oh, yeah, see you, Abby. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. I think I'm going to hold off summoning the Perfumer until phase 2, though. Because I can do phase 1 without too much trouble. I could also hold off on this. But it's not all that important anyway. And now I can't use Square Off. Which is actually fine by me, it's a slow move.
General Radahn, a pleasure to see you.
Can I... Let me see if I can sprint this.
But those remains do not...
No, I don't think I can.
Lord Moog will have his dignity.
Crap. That attack is too fast. Little late on the dodge. Don't die, Ansbach. Like, look at the damage I'm dealing. What is this? How are you supposed to beat this guy? I guess I can start using, like, weapon resins, too. I'm just gonna have to break all my rules for this fight, just like I did with Melania. Like, if the game's not gonna play fair, then I don't think I can keep playing fair either. Attack's too fast, man. Oh, nice bleed. Maybe the answer is just bleed damage. Okay, come on, we're close to phase 2. There we go. Good. Go, Trisha. Help me win. Hey, I dodged it for the first time. I'm trying to, like, stay a little distinct from my helpers so they don't all get wrecked. Okay, I recognize that attack coming. I always feel like I have to defend myself when I make a mistake. I did recognize that attack, I just didn't realize it landed quite so fast. What? Why did he target me? He was targeting the other guy. What the fuck was that? No, that's not good. Like, look at this fucking damage I'm dealing to Radahn. What the fuck? Each of these hits is more than 1,000 damage, by the way. I genuinely... I think I'm gonna have to break all my rules to beat this. This is just so beyond unreasonable. Maybe the answer is don't summon Ansbach and summon, but I really want to summon Ansbach for lore reasons. That's interesting to me. That was a buffered roll. Okay, so sprinting doesn't work. I didn't know whether sprinting might work on that. This fight is horseshit. I feel like it's not cutting my damage. I feel like it's cutting my damage in like a third. Like, it is insane how little damage I'm dealing with Ansbach present. What else can I even do? Do I need to change my armor? Do I need to... start using... I don't want to use weapon resins and stuff because this guy hits so fucking hard. You know what I mean? And like, he moves so fast that I feel like I have to take any tiny opening I can get. And just trying to take the time to apply a weapon resin, like, I don't get very many hits on this guy. Does it even matter, you know? I don't know. I could use these warmth stones, like... I guess I can just start using these. Maybe some blood grease. I'm going to try it with Ansbach. I really want to summon Ansbach. Like, it's interesting to me thematically. He even has special dialogue for it. Maybe I'll try saving my sippy juice until phase 2. But it doesn't matter. In phase 2, you get wrecked so hard that it really doesn't matter. Okay, see, like, that's why I say those attacks like that shouldn't happen. Like, that was faster than one of my quick attacks.
But those remains do not belong to you. Lord Moog will have his
That's too fast, Miyazaki. Yeah, this is just hopeless. Like, I think I might have to stop summoning Ansbach. Like, look at the damage I'm dealing. Sometimes his health bar doesn't even move when I hit him. It's like they said, it feels like they took this boss and then they just genuinely said, let's quadruple his everything. Let's quadruple his damage, let's quadruple his HP. Great. And then the attack that you can't dodge. Did they, like, change the timing of that when you have a helper? Like, look at the damage, by the way. I don't know, do I need to wear super tanky armor? Oh, did I actually get my blood grease off? I didn't think I did. Trying to get a bleed stack here. A lot of these I'm hesitating on, by the way, like where I might otherwise have openings because he has a lot of optional follow-ups which prevent me from trying a number of attacks. Yeah, I have to not summon Ansbach. He's like 4 times as powerful. Like, it's fucking insane. What? Wasn't I really far out of range?
I promise you.
That falls too fast. He jumps in the air and then like snaps back to the ground. It doesn't look right. Like he falls a lot faster than gravity. It's kind of weird. Why did he... Did you see him delay on that? Why did he delay in the air? Oh, so that doesn't help either. It wouldn't be so bad, except that he also has, like, no openings. Like, after these big, massive attacks with, like, 3 hits and a bunch of explosions, I can get in one quick attack with one of the faster attacking weapons in the game. Obviously, there are faster weapons, you know, plenty of daggers and whatnot, but, like, I'm using, like, a basic straight sword. And I can't attack fast enough to dodge these sometimes. Like, I barely got him... That wasn't just me who saw that, right? I'm dead, by the way. That... He was, like, invincible. I couldn't even hit him. How are you supposed to dodge that? It's 5 ultra-fast hits in a row. You can't sprint out of the way. I've tried dodging left and right and forward. You can't dodge fast enough. Oh, did he? It was, I think the NPC was bugged. Like, the NPC was still on the ground or something. Yeah, I can't summon Ansbach anymore. Unfortunately. I can still summon the Perfumer as I get in there. Yeah, look at that. I'm dealing... I feel like I'm dealing like triple damage now or something. Maybe I should save this for phase 2. I feel like he slows down that attack if you have help. Whoops. Early. I might hate this fight. That was cheap. He stopped moving and then followed up. That shouldn't happen. I bitched about that the other day. It's not really fair. And you shouldn't start off with quick attacks like that. Get away from my summon. Big spinny, big spinny. Why would that still hit me? Maybe I can't do summons either. Maybe I just need to go back to my square off. Like, I'm just dealing such pitiful damage, you know? And my summon's dead. I mean, I feel like I'm not even close. Like, the fact that he enters this phase not even at 50% health. The fact that if you summon Ansbach, you... Yeah, I really don't know what to do about this guy. And now I'm gonna get killed. Let me try something else. I'm just dodging back. So dodging back worked a little, but... And, like, he gives you no time to heal either. That's not fair, Miyazaki. I took my opening correctly there. I took my opening correctly there, and he just followed up with a quick attack that he never does. That's not fair. I took my correct opportunity there. That I should not have been punished for that. By the way, we both landed, and he was able to begin and hit me before I could even get the Estus to my lips. That's what I mean when I bitch about these bosses being unbalanced. Like, that's just not fair. It's ridiculous to have a boss... I genuinely don't know how I'm supposed to deal enough damage. I don't know. Do I need to switch to, like, a... like the Reduvia or something, maybe? Just to get shit tons of bleed stacks, maybe? Which I would need to respec to go get. I don't want to fucking travel to Renala just to respec. But I don't know what else to do. Like, this is just not viable. It might be viable if I could figure out how to dodge his phase 2 damage, but I have no idea how. I've tried a bunch of different things and nothing works. In phase 1, it's hard, but I can actually dodge most of what he throws at me. Maybe I start summoning my Mimic Tear so that I can do square offs and still get the Mimic Tear to help me, but that's not the problem. Like, at best, I've gotten this guy down to about 50% health. He enters phase 2 so early that once he's in phase 2, a lot of my openings disappear, and he has a lot of these attacks that, like, how are you supposed to dodge those 5 hits in a row? Are you... like, I'm not going to start hiding behind a shield. I've done the whole playthrough without it. And even if I used Reduvia, like, in phase 2, you can get so few hits on the boss that it seems very unlikely I would actually build up bleed stacks. In phase 1, I could bleed him. In phase 2, I don't think that that's viable. What armor do I have? Do I have something that's better against... like, what's... I don't know. I'm looking at the holy damage negation on a lot of this. What do I get if I put on the full Solitude set? I so badly wish that you could actually sort alphabetically. I just have to go through one by one and try to find the Solitude set. Where's the Solitude set? Surely I have the full Solitude set, right? Maybe I don't have the full Solitude. Oh, I do. Gauntlets of Solitude. Okay, still a fast roll. What about the feats? Something of Solitude. Greaves of Solitude, maybe? Okay, still a fast roll. So that'll be better. What about, but even then, this is still frustrating because this isn't going to increase my damage output. And I'm not saying the other armor set did either, but, like, this will allow me to live a little bit longer. But the problem is he has so many moves in phase 2 that I just don't know how to dodge at all. Some of them I'm getting better at dodging. I don't know how to dodge the real quick 5-step. What about the Helm of Solitude? Okay, I still get fast rolls with this, so I guess I'll try this for a while. I might not be able to use this weapon. I mean, I've already looked through my weapons a few times. I don't think I have anything else that has substantially better scaling. And even at high levels, like, I've tried upgrading one or two other things to max level, and it didn't deal more damage. I could try a different art of war. I feel like the perfumer is useless. I feel like I really like the idea of it drawing aggro, but more often than not, that just gets me hit. I can use rune arcs, of course, although I'd have to go activate some of my great runes. Or at least a great rune. I don't like using these consumables in the fight, because I feel like it's more likely to, you know, get me hit while I'm trying to use it. And it means that I am running out of a fixed resource, and I can craft more. It's... No. I could try to poison him, but again, I can't get very many hits on him, so it seems unlikely I would actually get that procced. These are going to be useless. It's a massive arena. He flies all over the place. I feel like I'm just going to use square off, if anything, that also has reasonable stagger potential. I feel like the answer is just do it by myself. The answer is probably summon the Mimic Tier. I don't really like the Mimic Tier, but I think I have to, just to make it easier on myself. I can't summon Ansbach, unfortunately. I really want to, but it just buffs him way too much. Yeah, see that damage? Oh. I didn't realize how that worked. I have to... The reason that I hate these quick attacks so much is I have to be so hesitant on fighting him, because so many of his moves are so fast like that, like you just can't... You cannot be aggressive against him. You must wait for openings. That's close. Well, this is going way better. Run away, probably? Yep. I'm dead. How did I just dodge those? Was that just luck? I tried dodging in a bunch of different directions just to see what happens. I can't see. That was a lag spike. That was bad. Also, this guy's gonna die. It's fucking lagging when he does that. Okay, so this is going way better, by the way. I thought I could backstab him. Oh, God. Uh-oh. Oh, he's gonna do the Radon move. That was cool. Is this phase 4? I'm trying to get away. What? Miyazaki! My hit! What was that? That might have killed him. Okay. So, the answer was summon the Mimic Tear. Huh, I mean, I'm glad I won, but what the hell? So do you know what the difference was there? I didn't play any better. It's that, first of all, I didn't summon Ansbach. Yeah, okay, that wasn't just me, right? Like, I had him dead to rights, and it just blatantly missed. So wearing this armor probably helped a little bit, but he still dealt pretty massive damage, right? Like, the difference was that without Ansbach and having the ability to do square offs, I was able to do a lot more damage. And my clone was also able to do square offs. Whereas I think something like the Perfumer was just doing nothing. And I got like a stagger or two. Also, wait. Remembrance of a god and a lord. A remembrance of Radon, consort of Mikola, hewn into the shadow tree. In their childhood, Mikola saw in Radon a lord, his strength and his kindness that stood in stark contrast with their afflicted selves. And so Mikola made his heartfelt wish that Radon would one day be his king consort. Meow, do you know, does touching this end the DLC? I'm guessing not. Like, it wouldn't launch me into, like, New Game Plus Plus or something without asking me. But I want to make sure I don't fuck something up. Actually, I'm going to do it anyway, because if it does fuck something up, then I can bitch about the design, I guess. What does this do? I still don't know whether that's the final boss, by the way.
Lord brother. I'm going to be a god. If we honor our part of the vow, promise me you'll be my consort.
So, they're brothers, but they're not brothers. Why does it say Lord Brother? Radon is not Mikola's brother.
I'll make the world a gentler place.
Melania is Mikola's sister. Twin sister, specifically. Circlet of Light. What's a Circlet of Light? The circlet of light which adorned Mikola's head as he returned in divine aspect. It has begun to fade into nothingness. Slightly boosts intelligence, faith, and arcane, while also boosting the power of Mikola's light. This circle was to be the very foundation upon which Mikola's age of compassion would be built, should it have ever come to pass. I'm still not really clear on the lore. Like, I mean, it's Dark Souls, so it's not like the lore being vague and strange is uncommon, right? But I don't know. Maybe this isn't fair of me. I kind of felt similarly at the end of the base game a little bit, where like there was all this build up to America, and And throughout the whole game, in the opening cutscene, we'd heard about, among other characters, we heard about, what's his name? Why am I blanking? Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, and we had never met him, and then it just turns out, oh, this character is... Nice Ansbach's attire. Maybe it's that I wish I could have spoken to these characters and learned more about them. It's kind of... Maybe this isn't fair of me. It feels a little lame that the whole game, and the base game too, by the way, we learned about Mikola. Like Malenia, the hardest boss in maybe the whole Soul series, always talks a big game about Mikola and finding him again. And you have Moog, also a very difficult boss, guarding the cocoon, this big mysterious cocoon that ends up being the entry to the DLC, which is purely focused on Mikola. We finally find him, and he's just kind of a generic, I will bring unto a greater world, with like a British accent, kind of, and then he just dies. It's like, I wish I could have spoken to Mikola, or learned more about him. There's something a little lame to me about him just being 1 or 2/3 of a phase of a boss. And then that's it. I mean, I haven't finished the DLC yet. At least I don't think I have. So maybe there's more. Let me read some of this stuff. Incantation of Ansbach, Pureblood Knight. Markedly different from the finessed swordplay of the Dynast, that would be Moog. This is an aggressive last resort of an incantation that gave rise to Ansbach's fearsome reputation. Obsidian Lamina, signature weapon of the Pureblood Knight Ansbach. A viciously keen and slender scythe made for combat. The obsidian edge relies not upon trickery to fulfill its violent purpose, though through skill alone the wielder can rip and rend through foes, sowing blossoms of red upon the battlefield. Ansbach's boots. Boots of Sir Ansbach, black leather adorned with gold embroidery, slightly enhances blood oath and dynastic skills. Ansbach understood that keeping his oath to his old master was not an act of logic, nor would it bear any justice, but it was for these reasons, these very reasons he was unable to let go. The iron mask of Sir Ansbach, giving the appearance of a quiet, wise, old bearded man. But an old fear lurks beneath, together with the cold, unflinching discipline that once honed his blade, now employed to enhance blood oath and dynastic skills. Also, while I'm complaining, it was really interesting to me that Ansbach said that they took Moog's body to be used as a vessel for Mikola, right? That's especially interesting because Mikola left his literal physical body and all of his love and passion and everything all over the realm of Shadow. I think maybe that's another disappointment, is he showed up and I guess we're meant to interpret he's some sort of like spirit or something, but it's like, but Mikola's gone because he left everything all over the fucking Shadow Realms. How is he just a humanoid walking towards me? And didn't they steal Moog to be a consort? Like, where's Moog? Maybe he's up ahead. Okay. Let me go check on what I can make with this remembrance. And then I'll continue forward.
It's me.
Interesting. Greatsword of Radahn Lord. Greatswords of black steel wielded by Radahn in his youth. So I guess, yeah, that was like young Radahn before he became totally corrupted by war, I guess. A pair of weapons decorated with a lion mane motif. These were in his possession immediately before his triumph over the stars. The swords of a lord who does not rely on physical strength and gravity alone. And so these are the same, just with different moves. The strength of Mikola upon his deific return annihilates foes with a pillar of light. Mikola sought to accept all that was and would be, but found one that refused to be embraced. No wonder, as one god and one king consort is all the world needs. Again, I'm finding myself disappointed. Like, again, it's Dark Souls lore, but maybe I'm just getting tired of this mysterious... I feel like it's really easy to create an air of mystery, right? You just introduce a bunch of stuff and then don't explain it. You know, like the artistry behind it and everything is very difficult, but thematically and narratively, it's pretty easy to say, oh, there's this god and he abandoned his body all over the realm of Shadow. It's like, okay, but that doesn't mean anything. And so it's kind of annoying when I get to the boss and it turns out, nope, it's just a regular boss. And remember how Mikola was doing all of this to become a god? Meaning he wasn't a god yet, and Saint Trina specifically said don't let him become a god? but then that description makes it sound like he already was. Like, to me, these are kind of important. They feel like oversights. And, like, can I talk to this guy about... I still can't tell him, hey, by the way, I just literally killed Mikola. I think it's reasonable to want to do that, right? Okay, so let's, I guess, go back to the Gate of Divinity. Again, that might not be the final boss. Another point of interest, by the way, I'm going to go back to the cocoon in Mohg's palace. See if anything changed there. Do I not get to actually go up here? To the actual gates? Really? I thought that the Divine Gate... Really? Can I climb up from over here, maybe? Really? I'm not seeing any messages up there either. They might just end up having visible walls. I don't think I can get up over here either, but give it a quick shot. Okay. So... I guess let's start by... going back here to the cocoon of the Empyrean. Like, that can't just be the end, just like that. There must be more to it than that. Also, I'm kind of... I'm feeling very disappointed, and I think it's reasonable. Look at this. Mikola is this weirdo Empyrean that lives in a cocoon and was perpetually, like, cursed with youth, despite being a massive creature. Just look at this arm. So this is his physical body. But then when Mikola walks out of the gate, he's like an anime character. Like, shouldn't Mikola look super weird? Especially after giving up his whole body and apparently using Mohg's remains. Like, where did all of that go? It's like they forgot all of the lore and just made an anime character. Does something happen if I, like, wear the circlet of light? No? Okay, let's head to the chalice then, I guess. I'm gonna leave the headpiece on for now. Like, this is a point of interest specifically marked on the map. There's no NPCs I can talk to now. Literally all of the Horn Scent are dead. Either I killed them or Ansbach died or something. This obviously is like a brazier of some kind that can be lit and burned. What? What do I do? So what's left? I've already gone everywhere and done everything that I'm aware of. The only things I haven't done yet that I'm aware of are taking out the 2 furnace golems that have armor plating on their legs. Do we need to go talk to St. Trina again? This can't just be the end of the DLC, just an anticlimactic, just beat the boss and then it just ends and then no one says anything and no one acknowledges that you literally just murdered Mikola. So she died now? St. Trina's Blossom? What is this? Is it a... St. Trina's life withered and fell as fleeting as the seasons. At her last, she left a single water lily slightly boosts max FP. Despite the velvety purple hue, the flower is in no way poisonous. It merely... I hate to be such a downer, but like... Am I wrong here? Like, this is fucking St. Trina. This is an important character down at the bottom of the world here. Who you have to do this cryptic nonsense and then gives you a line that says, don't let Mikola be a god, but then nothing happened. I just did the fight anyway. There was no choice to make. I didn't get to, like, talk to Mikola and maybe see if he could convince me first. And then after all of that, she dies, and I get a talisman that slightly boosts max FP. That's what St. Trina's legacy is? What even is this? Is it equipment? Is it a consumable? What the hell is it? Is it a weapon? It doesn't show me in here what it is, right? Is it just permanent? Is it a key item? I literally have Mikola's Great Rune. I killed the mother of the 2 fingers. No one in the base game has reacted to it at all. I couldn't use St. Trina's message to talk to anything. I can't talk to any of the Hornsent about the fact that I've killed Mikola. I can't do anything. There must be something to do with this chalice. There just must be. But I don't feel like there's anything left in the DLC now. Is there something at the crosses now? Like, or is it the same as before? That can't just be the end of the DLC, just that, with nothing else. What am I missing? I've done everything. I'm not aware of anything else in the DLC. I've already reloaded the area at the Gate of Divinity. I touched that memory and got some nonsense lore that didn't tell me anything new. This is a real question. If anyone knows, is that it? Is the DLC over? Was touching that memory the end of the DLC? That can't be the end of it. That's so anticlimactic. Like, really? I can't go to the Gate of Divinity that's right there? What about the circlet of light? What about all the shit I've done? No one cares? I can't use any of that information to affect, like, an ending? Or... It's just... do an impossible boss fight and then it just ends? There's no narrative closure at all? Can I go fight Melania and say, hey, Melania, by the way, I went and killed Mikola. I already tried talking to Gideon Ofnir. I can't tell him. I can ask him about the location of all these unknown demigods. I can't tell him, by the way, I literally just murdered Mikola. All of the Horn Center are dead, so I can't ask them about it. Like, look at the map. There's literally no NPCs left. St. Trina just died and gave me kind of garbage. Why would they put the Scattertree Chalice as a point of interest on the map, which is clearly like something you can burn, and then you can't do anything with it? And if there is more to be done... Oh, by the way, I never made it up here. Does anyone know how to get up here? Let me go over here quick. I'm really, really disappointed. I hate to just be so negative, but what the hell? Does anyone know how to get up here? I would love to figure out how to get up there. Hey, Sneaky. Maybe there's some way up from the bottom, like an elevator? I can go check that. Is this going to get me, like, access to the fucking chalice burning thing or something? Like... That just can't be the end of the DLC. I pressed the X button like an hour ago, Miyazaki. Okay, goodbye. Where am I? I can't open the map. See, I need to get up there. I need to go up higher. How do I get up higher? Oh, is it this? Oh, shit. Okay, I actually... Okay, cool. Oh, that was a risky jump. I don't see any items or anything, so I guess I just... That is a long drop down there. Maybe that's survivable? That looks pretty far down, though. Maybe I can land on a... Let me try the horse. Yeah, because this... Okay, so this is going to be the way down, I think. Maybe I can... Maybe that's survivable. It is, okay. Damaged me, but survivable. Well, that'll be the way up. I wonder if there's... What's over here now? Maybe this was an alternate path to get here? Or is this just for an item, maybe? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Mimic? No mimic. Talisman of all crucibles. Grants what? Grants effect of all crucible talismans. A giant mass of intermingling crucible attributes. Reduces damage taken from critical hits and headshots, and improves the effectiveness of rolling and backstepping, but also increases damage taken at all times. Rumored to have been sprouted upon giants and is known as the mother of crucibles in ancient tower lore. Cool. Well, hey, I figured out how to get up here. I really should have probably solved that sooner. If this doesn't lead to some measurable new thing like the big crucible lighting tool, then I'm gonna Google and see what other secrets I've missed. Because, as with a number of aspects of the base game and the DLC and most of their whole series, if the game's not going to give me any way to attempt to suss out what might be left, then I'm reduced to random searching, and I don't want to do that. At least I made it up here finally. And I can go take out the sniper giant. First, is there anything over here? What's this? I never did use those spirit calculuses. You can make explosives with them. Just knock down that whole tree, goddamn. Nice. That's what you get for sniping me before. So what is up here now? This thing that I have been curious about for many hours. What secrets have you put up here, Miyazaki? Stake of America. How interesting. Oh, actually, that's a summoning symbol. Okay, so I'll go down there in a sec. Maybe it's a boss? To my knowledge, apart from the furnace golems with armored feet that I don't know how to kill, this is the last thing I'm aware of in the DLC. What the? Why is there another divine dancing lion? Why in the hell would they put a second lion here? Doesn't this severely detract from the impact of the main one being there when there's just another one up here for some reason? What the fuck? Oh, it's Death Blight now. Is this really going to be how my DLC experience ends? Fighting a repeat of the first boss? That was dumb, that healed the boss. What other elements does it have? Wind. Okay, stop. Okay, there's another one. The tracking on that, though. Bad timing. How did that not hit me? Whoops. Deathlight again, maybe? Yep, Deathlight. Oh, okay, so never mind. He just summons minions. Okay, so they aren't worth killing. Or lightning phase. Why did he not do a Hoarfrost Stomp there? He always does a Hoarfrost Stomp in that combo. The hell is that? I don't care that this heals him, I have to heal. Why did that not heal him, by the way? And he's gonna summon a bunch of guys. Okay, I can use this opportunity to take out one or two of them. Right? Where are they? Maybe it only summoned one that time? Okay, 2 heals left. Phase swap. Hoarfrost? No. Okay. Also, I was wrong about the Hoarfrost stomping a second ago. Damn it. There we go. It's hard to overstate my disappointment right now. I thought that that boss was amazing. But it is so deeply devaluing to the unique experience of finding that boss in that place to just have another one here. Imagine if you just found another Mikola somewhere else. Or another Midra somewhere else. Why the fuck is there another one? On top of which, besides the Deathblight phase, which... the fact that it used Deathblight is fine. The fact that it summoned minions kind of sucks. Like, that was the same fight again. Still an awesome fight, don't get me wrong, but like, what was the point of that? It didn't even get me anything good. It got me a spell. The majority of divine beasts were gored and hung upon Mesmer's spears, then burned in his flame. Those who witnessed the deed likened it to a funeral pyre for the tower itself. Well, the Margit one, like in the base game, I don't love that either, but it's a little more understandable because Margit is actually Morgoth. I know that you know this. I'm not telling you something you don't already know, but like, you really killed an apparition. It's still kind of hand-wavy, but you know, it kind of makes sense. In the same way that, like, in Sekiro, for example, you fight the... what's it called? The corrupted monk? Like, the kind of projection of it down outside of the Divine Realm, and then later you fight it in the Fountainhead Palace. Like, the real version of it. Like, that... you know, it's still repeated content, but to me it's more interesting. Especially because in, like, Sekiro, for example, and for Margit / Morgoth, the quote-unquote real fight is different. Parts of it are the same, of course, but like there's brand new phases and a lot of new shit. This was the same fight, except that they added Deathblight, and it spawned some random Deathblight minions. It's like they wanted a boss here and they ran out of time to develop a new one, which is reasonable. Development's very difficult. I get that. I would have rather seen, I think, a random repeated boss from the base game with like one new move than another one of those. That deeply devalues the experience of the original. It also sucks that this is maybe the end of the DLC for me. And this doesn't have to be the last thing you do. Other players might have found this a lot sooner, and that's fine. In fact, for some players, this could be the first one of these dragons that they fight. It also doesn't really make any sense, right? Like, my understanding is that this was the thing guarding the Divine Gate, right? It guarded passageway into this castle. What the fuck is this one doing? It's just on a platform in the middle of nowhere. You can't even... You can only access this from above, and you can't go anywhere from it. Why is it here? I feel like FromSoft started so many things with this DLC and they haven't finished them. They have all these characters seeking out Miquella, and there's all this deep lore about Miquella shedding his body and trying to become a god, and so many characters in the base game talk about Miquella. And then he's just like an anime character in 2/3 of a fight, and then he dies, and you don't get to talk to him, and you don't get closure, and you can't ask anyone about him. Alright, let's go to Google. Elden Ring DLC secrets. At this point, I'm just looking it up. I don't want to like look at lore videos like trivia. I'm interested in that stuff, but right now it's like what's the end game here? People are talking about, I'm just reading a Reddit thread here, people are talking about how there's multiple endings to some side quests, which makes sense, right? Like, I sided with Ansbach. You can betray him, apparently. You can give Tolier's concoction. Who the hell is Tolier? I don't know that person. To the Dragon Priestess. That locks you out of getting her heart, but gives you her spirit ashes. Okay, let me look up something more specific. Let me look up the Scattertree Chalice. Elden Ring DLC Scattertree Chalice. There's no fucking way that after 2.5 years of building this, and there's a ton of shit here. I don't want to downplay how much unique, fresh, awesome content there is in this, but like, there's no ending here. It just ends. And there's all these threads that don't go anywhere. Like, this is beyond disappointing. This is... I mean, to call it a refight with Radahn is not fair. It's a very, very different encounter. But the fact that it is still Radahn... Why does no one in the base game... Why can't I tell anyone that I just literally killed Miquella? Why don't the two fingers in the base game react to the fact that I just killed their mother? Right? I mean, I haven't done every single thing. It's still conceivable that maybe some NPC has some new dialogue or something, but outside of trying random things, I haven't found anything to suggest that, for example, Ronnie or... I don't know, Melania or someone would comment on the fact that... Like, what if I went into the Melania fight and I'm wearing Miquella's, like, chalice? You'd think she would comment on that. And, like, I think that's reasonable. These are very important connections in the game's narrative. Again, I'm just reading through this Reddit thread. I mean, the fact that if there was something here, I feel like I would see it front and center on Google. Granted, Google search results have been getting a lot worse lately because they've been leaning on LLMs, but even so... Well, but like, again, I'm just repeating myself. I don't want to just rant forever. I could, but I don't want to just rant forever. Like, after all of that build-up, after everything in the game and everyone talking about kindly Miquella, and after Miquella shedding her body and her love and her vacillation and everything all over the map, Miquella's just an anime character. She doesn't talk about her sister Melania that I killed. Well, not on this file, but previously. There's no mention of why so many characters in this realm of shadow pull some of their moves from notable like lords in the base game. Right? It's like, what even is this place? Is it a dream? That would kind of make sense, right? We kind of touch the cocoon. What is with Miquella's real form in the base game if this is where Miquella is? What was all that shit about using Mohg's body? That was Ansbach's entire quest line, was, you guys really disrespected Lord Mohg. I wish you hadn't done that. So I'm going to turn against Miquella. Mohg was nowhere to be found. It wasn't like Miquella's soul went inside Mohg or something. Like, he's nowhere. We don't get to find his corpse anywhere in the DLC. Again, I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over again. It's possible that there's still something I missed. I'm sure there's some random trivia and secret somewhere, but like, what the fuck? It's not just that I didn't let's get that cursor out of there. I feel like nothing was concluded. I cannot fucking believe that it just ends here. And given that it's the Souls community, the fact that I'm not seeing... Obviously, people are throwing out crackpot theories, but the From games don't really have crackpot theories in the way that something like Animal Well has deep secrets in it, you know? Like, there's going to be there's going to be maybe trivia here and there, or like rare pieces of dialogue, sure. But at most, it would be like, oh, hey, did you play Dark Souls 1 and find the Great Hollow? Which is cool content, don't get me wrong, but like, you know, it's not like, oh, well, if you do these 10 things in the same specific order and solve this ARG, then you get the super secret Miquella ending. But like, there should be a Miquella ending. This is important. What about Ranni's Great Rune, which she apparently cast aside, and the theory I've seen is that she may have cast it on the moon. That's just a theory. It might just be totally off base, but like, Ranni's an Empyrean too. I got Miquella's Great Rune, and it doesn't do anything. I'm gonna check that again, like... I don't remember where it was. Is it a key item? Is it a consumable? Let me just go back to here, I guess. I'm still just scrolling through Reddit here, like... In the base game, you get to actually go inside the Erdtree at the end. Right? And, like, you end up burning it to the ground. Well, not really. You set it afire and you burn the thorns. But in this game, you don't get to actually go to the Shadow Tree, despite this very obvious chalice, which is marked on the map. And it did give me a bunch of blessings, but, like, is that it? Also, for that matter, do I have leftover... I have leftover Spirit Ash, so there might be 2 more of those somewhere. There's the Suppression Tower. Yeah, I forgot about that. That does nothing. Apparently, there's little bits shown in the trailer that you can't find in-game, like parts of a cutscene with Miquella or something. Why did it show me a memory of Miquella just prattling on about the same shit? She didn't say anything new. She didn't say anything that would, like, hint me in a direction of new content. She just said, oh no, I'm Miquella and I'm sad, and then it ended. Isn't the whole thing, fuck the Erdtree, we made the Shadow Realm, it's the reversal of it? But then you can't do the reversal thing of, hey, we burned the Erdtree, let's burn the Shadow Tree. Again, you're seeing a lot of, hey, if you beat Kingdom Hearts 5 times in a row without taking damage, you unlock the super secret ending tier of nonsense theories. Like, what if you get all the blessings and you don't use any of them, and then you can use them as kindling for the chalice? Like, that's not the answer. That would be ridiculous. Like, FromSoft does not hide secrets in its game of that fashion. It's fine that they don't, but they don't do that. I'm just going to use all of my runes, by the way. I killed the Mother of Fingers. I never got to talk to Ymir again. Maybe Ymir secretly was the Mother of the Three Fingers. That's possible. I didn't get to talk to the Protector lady wearing all that dark armor in the same room. I have more of these occulting eye things that I don't know what to do with. Like, I used one of these, kind of not realizing that I was dooming a guy to death. Presumably I could have given him light as well, so that would have changed Quailing's quest line, but like, probably that would have just resulted in another item. Like, why does it give me so many of them? Yeah, so if you just use it, it's like a great rune, but it's kind of tricky too, because for some of these items, like these irises, the fact that I have multiple of them isn't necessarily a hint. It might just be like, imagine that there was literally only one of those dark irises in the entire game. That might be very difficult if you don't find it, right? In other words, it's very punishing if you don't find the right thing, whereas if you have two of them, now there's a lot better chance that someone finds at least one. So the existence of extra items doesn't necessarily imply more secret content. But the fact that there's only one thing to do with it in one place for an NPC that doesn't matter. I saw a comment earlier from someone I was watching play the DLC. They're not too far into it yet, but they've already kind of noticed something I noticed, which is, as compared to the base game, there's a lot more sort of strange dead ends in the DLC that don't go anywhere. I feel like in the base game, there's kind of a lot more content packed more densely. And granted, you could argue some of that is, you know, somewhat repeated content in the form of caves and stuff, but like, I don't know, it feels wrong. I feel like despite how much is in here, this is still great value for money. I'm not discussing the DLC right now in terms of a value proposition for the consumer. This was absolutely worth $40. It's just, I feel like it's fair to expect a better ending. I don't think FromSoft has ever been very good at ending their games, narratively at least, but they at least gave you something. Do I still have that secret right scroll that I got before that I had someone translate? I had Ansbach translate it, that's what it was. Uh-huh. These are the same thing, but they look different. That's interesting. I have 30 Dragon Hearts. I don't know if I still have that. Maybe I don't have it anymore. Maybe it's a note. Like, we are to burn it. Like, nothing happened. Every character in the game was trying to find Mikola, and you have to get Mesmer's Flame to burn the shadow and to reach him, and nothing happens. They just didn't finish the... Okay. I could keep complaining about this forever. Let me instead... Sorry, I'm just finishing scrolling through this thread here. Hi, Super Joe. I don't recall who Tolier, I'm probably saying the name wrong, is. But I will find out. It could be that I've spoken to them and, like, forgot their name or something. One sec, I've got... My cat's kind of aggroing me a little bit. Hi, Pixel. Let's look up, Oh, no, I don't ever, I don't think I found this character. Maybe I did. Yeah, I don't think I ever found this character. So, the wiki here is telling me... Yeah, and missable NPC quest lines I really don't mind. I know you can't see it. Sorry, I'm not trying to go radio silence here. Given how late I am in the DLC, I doubt this person's still here, but let's go check. They're at the Pillar Path Cross at the site of Grace. Which side of Grace? The wiki, I mean, this DLC is pretty new. It's not shocking that the wiki is not totally finished. Or not totally, you know, detailed yet. Apparently they have something to do with St. Trina. You can eventually get St. Trina's Smile. It's a talisman that... Sleep in the vicinity increases attack power. Apparently you can fight him. You can summon him to defeat Lita. That's interesting. So I was only able to summon Ansbach. And you can summon him to defeat the final boss, too. And then he invades you, and okay. No, I totally missed that quest line, but that sounds intriguing. Sounds like it maybe doesn't, as with most quest lines, it sounds like it maybe doesn't impact too much, but yeah, it gets you some extra lore, which is something. That's still cool. No, but thank you for bringing it up. I appreciate that. You know what I will look up? The Furnace Golem Armored. I don't know how to beat them, and I'm just going to look it up at this point. I've played through... At this point, I think, unless I'm drastically missing something, I believe I have now completed the DLC. I'm sure there's, you know, one-off items here and there I missed, but I think I've done basically everything. I don't think you can get to these islands or anything. What I'm seeing on the old internet... I was able to damage one of the armored furnace golems by throwing... In fact, let me see if I can find where it was. I'm just looking at the map here. Trying to remember where that was. I think it's right here. Let's head to Karo's Hidden Grave. Are you supposed to use hefty furnace pots? Okay, first of all, I can level up like once. As if leveling up really matters anymore, but I'll take it. Apparently I have to make hefty furnace pots. I can make a hefty fire pot. Hefty frenzied flame pot. Which ones of these are furnace pots? Maybe I haven't found the relevant cookbook yet. You probably don't literally need these. Maybe I could use a different kind of hefty pot, like a volcano. It seems like a bad idea to use fire damage against a fire guy, though. People are saying that 3 furnace or 5 to 6 fire will get the job done. You can use hefty fire pots to damage them. You don't need visages to create these ones. Stay mounted, light attack the legs. No, people are talking about the normal ones. I can't believe Reddit is not immediately offering up exactly the information I want. I can't believe I have to spend 10 seconds looking for information. Okay, well, let's just try this then. Let's make a... Okay, sure, whatever. Let's make a hefty fly pot. Let's make a bunch of pots. I don't know which one I'm supposed to make. I've gotten a bunch of hefty pots at least. Maybe oil pots. I'm just gonna throw them all at this guy. Freezing pot. Frenzied flame pot. Volcano pot. Volcano pot. Okay, that's all my hefties. Maybe I shouldn't have spread those out so much. Okay, so time to equip just a lot of pots. This is how the game is meant to be played. Hey, I can watch Donkey's video now. Okay, so this one is over in a general westward sort of direction. Away, birds. Ow. The other reason I'm disappointed, on top of everything I've already bitched about, is that I kind of felt similarly about the base game, although not to the same extent. I felt like the ending of the base game was somewhat rushed. Maybe that's an unfair assessment. Like, there's such a staggering amount of content, I don't know if it's fair to say, have you considered adding even more to the end? But even that being the case, it was hard to not feel kind of disappointed. Podcalypse, nice. Okay, so I need to go take the Spirit Spring up. Run away. So now I need this thing to walk a lot closer to me. Let's just preemptively take a little sippy juice. Oh no. Oh no. Please lock on. It won't lock on. There we go. Oh, that did a lot of damage. Look at that damage. Take an oil pot. Okay, that did nothing. Take a lightning pot. Wait. Yeah, run away, run away. That's true. That's true. The base game is a lot more finished from my criteria than the DLC is. Like how do you not introduce a Mikola ending? Oh god. Okay, run away again. Ow. Eat flies. Hey, look, they're getting eaten by... Stop doing your move. Okay, so the answer... I would not have expected fire pots to be effective against... FromSoft is such an enigma wrapped in a mystery. Like... Oh god. Oh, what did they add? What did they add before the DLC? I missed. Miyazaki! Why did it drop my lock on? Why does the volcano pots do nothing? Can you really? Okay, I didn't know that. That's cool. Okay, these are doing nothing compared to the fire pots for some reason, by the way. Can I make more of these on the fly? Ow. Get out of here. I can't item craft in combat. Okay, you know what? let me just... Ugh. I don't know if I care about killing these guys. Apparently there's no way to break their armor, you just have to do this? But then... that doesn't really make sense. Why would a freezing pot not be a lot more effective than a fire pot thrown into the fire guy? But then the... And I have to just die here. Okay, you know what? Just kill me. Kill me. Set me afire. Oh no, I messed up my... Oh, I didn't actually want to survive there. Have at you. So the answer is just make a million fire pots, but the volcano pots don't work, and the ice pots don't work, and nothing else works. It kind of makes sense that the flies don't work now that I think about it. I'm not sure why I thought that would work. I would love to be a fly on the wall. Let me remove all of these. In a meeting with Miyazaki, you know? Can I just make all of them? It's like, hey, we have these big, massive enemies. It's very cool, I think, that some of them have armored feet, right? Because you think, oh crap, my usual strategy doesn't work anymore. You have to try to think on your feet. The problem that I'm running into, maybe I'm speaking too much in generalities here, like, these games, they don't really have, like, secrets in the way that some other games do. That's a really vague, stupid statement. Like, this may or may not be as coherent as I want it to be. The way I'm thinking about it now is that FromSoft seems to want, maybe not 100%, but most of the combat in the game to be accessible and approachable with a variety of builds. I think this is a very, very good thing. I think most people would agree that it's a good thing. But what it means is, for example, imagine that you could get like a rust pot, and then you have to throw the rust pot at the metal leggings to break it off. I don't think that's the sort of thing, even if such an item existed, I don't think that's the sort of thing that FromSoft would probably put in their game. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Because they tend to not want you to kind of think critically about combat in that way. Do you know what I mean? For example, like certain enemies will have some more weaknesses than others, but there's not a full-on like Pokemon elemental weakness system where, you know, fighting the tree boss with fire is a million times more effective. It'll be more effective, but again, they want various combat encounters to be accessible to a lot of different builds, and that would, if they added too many conditional interactions, that might preclude certain builds from being viable, or they might frustrate some players who don't think about the game in that way. Does that kind of make sense what I'm saying? Or maybe more accurately, am I expressing it sufficiently clearly? All that to say that maybe my mistake was trying to approach this and think about it logically, like maybe I have to use some metal to melt the thing at the bottom. Maybe I have to use, you know, coal to put out the fire. Maybe I have to jump into the beginning with fire damage to kill it. Like, that's kind of more depth than Miyazaki seems to want players to think about. You know what I mean? So, like, why do fire pots do a lot of damage and other pots don't? I don't know. It doesn't really make sense, but I think the fact that it doesn't make sense is fine by Miyazaki. I don't think he and his team design combat encounters in the way that I'm thinking about them. They seem to just take a simpler approach. It has armor on feet, therefore throw shit in the top. And that's kind of the extent of it. And they didn't seem to have thought a lot about... Okay, I wish he would stop doing this. Like, this is awful. I just have to get on the horse and run away over and over and over again. And I only have 10 of these, so I really want to lock on. Nope, he's just going to keep doing it over and over again. Like, I thought I was being really clever when I tried jumping in the top of this thing. Especially because it gives you a fireproof pickled liver nearby. Do I just need to say fuck it and just do this? Yeah, that was a lot of damage. Again, I don't know why throwing a fire pot into a literal furnace golem does much more than trivial damage, but son of a bitch, I got him with that! I meant to heal. Wow, that dealt a lot of damage. Glove, Wart, Crystal Tear. What does that give me? Enhances attacks of spirits. That's cool. Okay, well, so where was the other armored one? There was one other armored one. It was... wasn't here. Wasn't over... what was it? I think it was down here. I think I will do this and then I'll call the stream, which will be good because then I can open up... Summer Games Done Quick, by the way. It started yesterday, if anyone didn't know. Raising money for a great cause, etc., etc. Part of the reason I was pushing to beat the DLC on top of, obviously, just wanting to beat it, was so that I could watch SGDQ freely this week and not interrupt my viewing sessions. Ugh. With streaming. Not a big deal or anything, but I'm not... On top of... ignoring the disappointment of everything we've discussed, I'm not too heartbroken about having finished up the DLC in, you know, a relatively short amount of time today. I don't have as much room to run away from the evil. Also, I didn't make more pots, so... crap. You know, I'm actually just gonna bail. I want to make more pots before I try this. I think I can beat it in 5, but it means that if I miss one, I'll have to start again. So let's just... oh my god. Okay, well, whatever. I kept trying to open my map, it didn't let me. I guess this game, I've never played Monster Hunter, but my understanding is that Monster Hunter is a little more like I'm describing, where you have to learn more about the specific strengths and weaknesses of different creatures. The reason I mentioned Monster Hunter is I was just thinking, like... what I was describing with these furnace golems, like, oh, they have armor plating on their feet, so you have to use specific items to break the plating. That sounds maybe more like a... maybe it just belongs in a different game. Or rather, it's not something that the FromSoft team is interested in designing. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud, I suppose. I think there's a lot of room left to expand on what the From series does, and many games have expanded in a lot of different ways, of course, but for example, for me, I've kind of, as evidenced by my bitching about the ending, I'm kind of over the we're too cool to tell you a story, we're gonna be super ambiguous and then you just have to make up your own. I'm kind of over that. I would rather they just tell a good story instead. Jumpy? No, I thought that was a jumpy. Well, there's a miss. Good thing I made more. For example, Covenants. Covenants in Dark Souls do nothing. Oh god, careful. Imagine a Dark Souls game where your Covenants actually had impact. Stop casting this spell! think I'm like staggering him. Okay, I got him. Cerulean Sapping Cracked Tier. Grants attacks FP restoring effect. That's cool. Okay, so I've only been live for like 2 hours today, but I think that's every single thing in the DLC. There are 0 remaining open threads that I'm aware of. There's no NPCs left. Following the fight, I already checked St. Trina, I already checked the Cocoon, I already checked with Ofnir. I've already tried out the Chalice, I've already googled for additional secrets. There's no more lingering bosses, I killed the Furnace Golems. I don't think there's anything more in the Cathedral here, right? I think I'm done. And given that there's been no connection to the base game, I kind of doubt that... I kind of doubt that going back to the base game at this point would glean anything new. I don't think that any character will say, wow, you killed Mikola, you killed the Mother of the Fingers. I'm guessing that this NPC is like lying dead somewhere and I could get her set if I knew where she was, but fuck if I know where that is. She's not like out in the courtyard or something. Where can I go? Let me just go to the gates. Not that it matters, but this is the best closure I'm gonna get. What even is the Divine Gate? It never even told us what that is. It's like something out of Westworld. Here we go. This is now the best closure I'm going to get to end the DLC. Largely awesome. The DLC started out pretty rough because it was unbalanced. And then they patched it to front load the effect of the blessings, and then it became a lot more fun. And then I was borderline overpowered for a while and was able to more or less breeze through many of the late game bosses in not all that many attempts. Then I got to Radahn and it said, hey, what if we just made him broken? And so then it was less about doing the fight and more about trying to game the leveling system to make him viable to fight. And then you beat him and then it just ends. And then that's it. Anyway. Thanks for watching. I guess I'm done. Feels very anticlimactic to just end there, but I suppose that's what it is. It is very pretty, though. By the way, I started at 125 hours. So that was in the ballpark of, right, 47 hours. I think some of those hours may have been spent in the base game reaching Moog to start the DLC. So that DLC took me somewhere between 43 and 47 hours, somewhere in that ballpark. Call it 45. The base game took me 125. I'm not stating these numbers as a measure of quality necessarily, just a more trivia fact, but certainly a very large chunk of content. That said, I'm also kind of happy to have been able to beat the DLC in, you know, a week and a half or 2 weeks of maybe 3 and 4 hour sessions and not like the marathon 3-week extravaganza that was the base game. But now it means that I can watch videos and look stuff up and watch the inevitable Vati videos that are going to come out. Watch other playthroughs and not worry about spoilers. Watch Jite finally and stop worrying about spoilers. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.